Hello everyone and welcome to another Brothers War draft, traditional draft, and I'm gonna first pick an Ursus command. Of course, this is a really decent one. Maybe like the third best out of these. I do like the green and black one more because those often just win the game on cast. Now they are sorcery speed and they are 6 and 5 mana spells. This is an instant at 4, so that's, a 4 mana instant doesn't have to be as powerful as a 5 mana sorcery or a 6 mana sorcery, of course. But this is still very good. And the white one is a 2 mana card, and the red one is, of course, the X card. They are both good, but I don't think they're as good as the Ursus command. Now, I'm gonna pick it here, but what else the pack has? Bushwhack, very decent model spell. I wouldn't mind first picking it actually. Not much to think about other options here. Alright, so no blue card here except for the curate. There's a sort of the meek which is, interesting, but maybe not what I'm going to pick here because there are a couple of very decent cards in Ashnod's Harvester and the Scrapwork cohort. Especially the cohort combines with the command very nicely because this token that's the third mode here of course likes artifact friends, which this brings nicely. So I think I'll take the cohort. It is a very strong card, and in some decks it's playable even if you don't have access to white mana to unearth it. So let's go with it. I mean, there's also the strong bull, but maybe I take this one first. Alright, so levitating statue, okay. Leaf Chaplain, Juggernaut. The blue cards, not really that exciting. I do like the levitating statue. I think it works in most archetypes, not just blue-red, which is kind of the non-creature color pair, but you can have any deck that has like, I don't know, 8 to 10 non-creatures, and then of course this will pick up a bunch of counters. So I'm thinking between that and maybe like the airlifted chaplain, which would work with the cohort, same color and that. I don't know though. Maybe I'll take a chaplain. It's okay. Prison sentence, Coilous Rock, Rager, gruesome realization. There's a blast runner, which is really good if you get a few of those sack effects. But I think with these white cards, I should just take the prison sentence. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a powerful pacifism effect. This format has some sacrifice energy, but not like. I mean, it's limited to black mostly, and then some red, of course, too. But you get the Scry 2, and the Scry 2 added on any effect is actually quite significant boost. So I do like this pacifism variant. And here we have, well, there is no white card I'm willing to pick. There is a Power Stone Fracture, there's another Blast Runner, maybe the sack deck could be open, but I could also take the Might Stones animation. It's quite early. I don't really want to miss out on the Ursus command. It is a double blue card though, so not exactly a splashable card. So the options here are mostly like Power Stone Fracture or the Blast Runner, or to take the Might Stones animation. I mean, I can animate this token friend, and I'm early enough in the draft to pick some cards that synergize with this thing. So I think I'm gonna take the animation now. Oh boy. This pack. Wow. I mean, I would like to have a Power Stone Engineer and a Courier here, but there's also the Tactician, the blue-white, the kind of signpost. Uncommon. Oh, this is so tough. Why? There's also like a Stern Lesson Scatter Ray, which are playable. Also nice red-green rare here, but I mean, I could take here 5 cards, any of these 5 cards, or all of these 5 cards. down. I mean, I'm gonna take this guy, but I don't like passing all that good stuff. That hurt me. Please give me some other good cards to follow up with. Well, there's another Milestones animation. That starts to be a lot of 4-mana cards though, especially because the cohort is as well. Maybe I was supposed to pick one of the cheaper cards, but it's too late now. I'm gonna take the animation here and at least, not focus on expensive cards anymore. I'm gonna take the bounce spell. It's totally reasonable card to play. Some cheap interaction, even though it is, it's tempo. You pay a card to get tempo, but sometimes you can, of course, like counter a bounce spell, pump spell or something like that. So it can also trade 1-for-1 in some cases. Alright, there is a mass production turn lesson, Air Marshal. Not gonna play the flow knowledge. I'm gonna have enough white here. This is quite nice with the tactician and the Unearthers command, but stern lesson gives me a turn 4 stern lesson into Milestones animation is actually quite a good curve. So I think I'll take the card draw here. But this deck might play the 6-drop too, if I'm given the option to pick it. Here I don't have anything I care about, so I'll take like a curate, which is playable. And here is still nothing too great. I guess I'm gonna take another bounce spell. Not gonna take another 4-drop anymore. The Savant, yeah, it can block, but should I take this? I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna get to 9 mana, and 6 mana 6/6 might not be that interesting, but I would prefer to have soldiers as my 3-drops, not wizards or anything. Okay, I'm gonna take the Savant here, but I'm not happy about it. I'll take the wings here. I need 2-drops. I mean, I'm actually thinking that maybe I should have taken the Power Stone Engineer over the Ocean Tactician from the crazy pack that had so many good picks. It was this pack I still got, something. I guess I take the counter spell. That is at least a 2-mana spell I can play. Okay, there's the Mistras command, which I think is the weakest of the bunch, but it's still a totally fine card. There's a very strong red card. I could still abandon like white, but then I feel even worse about picking the tactician there. Then again, if I took the Power Stone Engineer over it, I would still have a white card. But this pack has a reasonable card in an Ambush Paratrooper, at least some soldier synergy, and a 2-drop evasive threat. And there's the 5-mana, activation too. But mostly because I need something that I can cast on turn 2. I also do want to actually get some more support for the Milestones animation. There is another stern lesson, of course, but there's also lay down arms, which I believe I'm gonna take because in a straight up blue white deck I should have 2 or 3 often enough to. And when you can hit 3-drops and smaller creatures, you usually are in a good shape. So I take the lay down arms now. Recruitment officer, well, that's a good one. I would like to have the combat courier. The cavalry is good too, but I mean this officer is a very nice 1-drop. I'm going to take it. I don't really emphasize. I mean, I'm not going to focus too much on a third copy of this animation. I think a 2 is plenty enough for my deck now. This is also a soldier. How many soldiers do I have, by the way? 4 out of 6. All right, this I guess not so hard because a lot of cards from white and blue creatures are soldiers. Alright, so Disenchant versus like a 2-drop, that is a little bit unexciting. I think I'll take the Disenchant. First Disenchant is totally main deckable always. Okay, there is another levitating statue, which is actually also very good with the Milestones animation because it doesn't lose its abilities. It keeps its base power and toughness 4/4, so it gets counters and it still has flying. I wouldn't mind demoling whilst, a little bit mana fixing, but the statue with double Mightstones animation is good, It even picks the counter when you cast this, so it becomes like a 5/5, assuming it's the first counter on it. So that's a really good one. You get a big flyer without having to pay 2 mana for it. So let's pick it now. And I guess, well, looking at the non-creature count, it's actually pretty wild now. I don't expect to be, playing all the non-creatures. For example, the Masinova Matter and the Scatter Rays can go away, but what is here? I have the Air Marshal. I do have a Deadly Riposte. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce the word to riposte, but that's how I said it. It's gonna be one of these kind of decks that have some flying threats that they don't mind having the Deadly Riposte available. I think I'm gonna take it now because the Air Marshal is still a low quality card, I would say. Do I care about the Coastal Bulwark here? Now that is not good target for the Mightstones animation because yeah, it doesn't lose the ability, which is Defender in this case. The Cass's Amulet. Not gonna play these, not gonna have a third of these. Mineworker, not really that great. Although it's a passable target for the Mightstones animation. I think I'm still taking the Amulet. 5 mana 4/4, gain some life when it dies, then Unearth to, gain some more life while dealing a little bit of damage. Loran, Disciple of History, not enough artifacts in this deck. Involuntary cooldown. Could take another Amulet, I guess. I'm not sure. I guess I'll just... This might not be a cooldown deck. I don't have enough of a early curve. If I had actually an aggressive mana curve creature-wise, yes. But now the problem here is that I don't have any. I mean, I need to start picking those 2/1 artifact creatures because I don't seem to be getting any early drops here now. I'll take the Coil's Rock, which I might actually play over the second Amulet. That seems fine. What's the... Is it the soldier? It's just a bird. Alright, so Stern Lesson. Well, I'm gonna take it, but... Yeah, I don't know really. I don't have the 2-drops. Okay, well, here is a combat courier, which I definitely will take over the animation or the medic here. Yep. I think the medic would be okay addition in this deck, maybe better than something like a third path savant. It is at least a soldier for this tactician, but it's not really a high priority, I don't think. And here we have a more 4-drops and stuff. I have one curate here as well. I don't really think I care about. Let's take the 2/5. I mean, it's unlikely to be a main deck card. So let's take the rare here. Actually, I should put the other Amulet too. Now that I have 2 of these Stone Lessons, which are cast, which make Power Stones that make it easier to cast the Amulet compared to the Coil's Rock. So I might main deck with these Amulets actually, and not the Coil's Rock. But I will put all the cards now to the main deck for now. Okay, that is not a card I'm sad to have because if I'm having a lack of 2-drops, I might need a 3/3 defender. Okay, so here a Zephyrus Sentinel is the easy pick, some Soldier's Energy. I want a 2-drop anyway, and it's just miles better than the Vanguard, so it's very easy pick here. And okay, there's a Drafna, Human Artificer Advisor. Anything that comes close. Yes, there is a Wing Commando, which I really want to have too. Now this is a little bit dirty. I don't have even that many artifacts. It is nice to return them and copy them, but I think I actually, because this will function mostly as a 2-mana 2/1, I would rather have the Wing Commando here. Yeah, now I have, I think, enough Fliers that I should play the Bulwark just to, have some blockers while I try to win with my Air Force. Also, that means that the Aeronaut's wings isn't that great if you have a lot of Fliers. The flying doesn't do much. Okay, another Chaplain here. Chromatic Lantern, Bulwark. Might get this later. I'll take the Chaplain here, and I'm gonna maybe start cutting some cards because as you can see, that is 31 cards in the deck. So let's remove the easy ones here, which are Curate. at least one of these scatter ray, the wings here, and then I don't need a 7th. I don't need retrieval agent, this thing, maybe the coilless rock. That is actually 23. So currently, you know, based on this quick glance I just had on the deck, this is gonna be the deck, but of course I will have more cards to pick, including infinite supply of Mightstone's animations. Now this isn't bad, but I don't have a lot of artifacts. That's like 6 now. So it's a 3 mana 2 for reach. That does give me a Power Stone token, which works with the Mightstone's animations. There is another chaplain possibility though. That's what I'm thinking as well. But I guess I'd take this after all. I don't know what to cut though, because it is my 24th card now. Do I need a 2 mana spell here? I kind of want to have, but so this is a 4 mana 3/3 that copies some maybe like flying. Yeah, it's not bad to copy something like a chaplain with it, or a wing commando maybe, but transpire. But it is a 4 mana card and I have a bunch of those, so maybe I'll just I'll just take this. I don't think I take the archaeologist. I'll just take the rare here for 20 gems. Of course it's unplayable. Here I prefer, rather than the air marshal, I would rather have the combat courier, I think. It is better here. But yeah, I need some cuts, so I think I'm going to cut even the machine of matter from the main deck. Although I do like the interaction, but okay, let's see what this pack has to offer. Now this is a very good one, but I don't think I'm gonna play this without the ability to unearth it. This is a little bit weird. 7 mana 6/4. You have to mill. You get the unearth, but I don't really think this is that good. I would rather have the Boulder Branch Golem actually. There's also a recommission though. Maybe I should take that. I don't think I'm gonna play the Boulder Branch Golem here. I can take the cooldown for my sideboard. How about here? Third animation still offered to me. Or I can take this if I need an early drop. This is also a decent sideboard card, I guess. I might still take some Coastal Bulwarks later on, so maybe I'll take this sideboard card instead. And there is one of the Bulwarks which I'm gonna take. Maybe not main decking all of that, but at least gives me options for sideboard action. The only card I would play here is... Well, no, I'm not gonna play any of these cards because I already have one of these agents. It's very unlikely I would be playing another one. I mean, sideboarding 2 of those in. Let's take the uncommon because the Drake is not gonna be played here. I can take now the Archaeologist, mostly maybe for the sideboard. Okay, I don't know if I care about the Power Blade. I'll take this Mana Producer if I somehow feel like it could be useful. Alright. Do I want to play both the amulets? Maybe I do if I have the Stern Lessons. That's like 2 additional mana sources to get to cast these 5 drops. And a 4 power unearth creature is no joke, because it's not so easy to block this without losing the blocker, and also 4 damage is not a it's a significant amount of damage. So I do like this, and also the red expensive unearthed creature, the Mistras Juggernaut, because it's a 5 power trampler when you unearth it. So those are a significant amount of damage you can deal, unlike something like the Scrapwork Mutt. It has of course a very good ETB, but it dealing like 2 damage on the unearth, it's not so tough, and it's easier to block too. But yeah, Onulet has, I mean, the unearth on this card is a relevant ability. Without it, this would be, I think, quite close to an unplayable card. But with the unearth, I quite wouldn't mind playing 2 of these. But what is my what are my cuts in here? I believe it's not that, I mean, the tower worker will be cut. I also believe that I will not play two of these bulwarks in the main deck, and maybe not the machine over matter in the main deck too. I don't like to have a tiny amount of interaction only, but okay, let's see what this says. Does this return artifacts? Yes, it does. So it does return the levitating statue. That's, I think, the only thing that, is not a creature by itself. It can return the chaplains. It can return the wing commando as a 3/3 prowess creature. I'm not sure if I have enough for the recommission though. I probably won't be playing it in the main deck at least. And then that is 25 cards. Well, I'm gonna cut at least one, maybe second one too. I do like to have the machine over matter, but I maybe have to cut it from the main deck. I like to play the riposte and the disenchant instead as, interaction, because they get rid of the threats, not just bounce. Yeah, I will maybe like sideboard this in against some combat rigs or something like that, or against very expensive creatures that are just, where the tempo is just worth it when they play a 7-drop, which hopefully isn't the one that gains them 6 life. I'm happy to bounce it, make them recast it, and then I could see ditching one of the combat couriers, or just playing 16 lands, because these will draw me more cards. Stern lessons. Well, I mean, you'd rather discard a land though. This is. Let's see the amount of targets for the Mightstones animations that I can, play so that I have a turn 4 animation. Although I guess turn 5 is acceptable if I play a cohort on turn 4. This on turn 5, animating the 1/1. It's also great. So currently it's 1, 2. I'm not counting the bulwark because I don't want to target a defender with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it's not so great to target the spider. It only becomes it's a +2 +0. But the stern lessons are of course good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 5? Yeah, I count 5 here. I don't necessarily want to cut a combat courier for that reason. So, how does it go then? 16 lands or cut some of this stuff? Now, my early plays are, of course, the recruitment officer is perfectly capable of trading with the opposing early drops. So these are not often trading. I could be lucky and the opponent plays those 3 ones for 2, but I'm not gonna count on that. I assume their 2 drops are, maybe 2 toughness creatures. So the combat couriers in that case won't really participate in the combat too much. They can, block and then sack to draw a card to prevent some damage from being dealt, but that's about it. So let's see the relevant combat things. I guess the paratrooper I can count because it is a creature I can use to at least start dealing damage myself. So 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures, and then there is a removal spell and another removal spell, and the disenchant might find some target too. Yeah, I will leave the bulwark in the deck. I have another in the sideboard, but I will play 1 bulwark. How many soldiers that is? It is only 6 for this guy to pick so that it gets a counter. Now this can pick anything, of course. And this will give a soldier friend, which will be boosted by the tactician. This token is a construct, not a soldier. With this setup, I do have 8 artifacts, which is like every 5th card in my deck is an artifact on average, which means that the top 4 here, will find, will hit some artifacts. I mean, not always, but sometimes. I guess with double combat courier, I can play with 16 lands. And, I can draw into more lands with the Stern Lesson. I don't have to discard a land if I have three mana and I need to have my 4 drops and 5 drops. I can, draw more cards and discard a non-land instead. And these things actually can get planes too. So yeah, I'm gonna play 16 lands in the main deck at least. So let's play with this deck. 8 and 9. I don't think I want to play the cooldown or something like that. Nope, this is the deck. So I have like mostly, well, I have like some flyers, and then I have some ground hitters with the Mightstones animation and the Tokases Onulet. Some maybe value granting cards here. Oh, I actually said that this is not so good with the Mightstones animation, but of course it also makes a Power Stone token. I don't have to target the spider itself. So yeah, it is also good. So that means 6 of my cards before 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, before turn 4 I have 6 relevant targets for this, and then Scrapwork cohort gives me one a little bit later as well. So that's I think it makes sense to run 2 of these guys. Yep, so now the lands are probably gonna be 8 and 8. I don't necessarily like it because I do have the lay down arms, but these things can get me planes, which will help the lay down arms. And I still have the double blue here, and I have blue early drops I will be wanting to play if I can. So it's gonna be an 8/8 mana base. This one and this one, for example. So that is the main deck. Yep, that's a fine one. I want to have the blue at some point, but this can draw me a card. Vanguard. It has vigilance, so I can't even use the riposte on it, so this is a perfect spot to, block and draw. I can at least play the Chaplain on the next turn. Blue, thank you. Island, I mean. It's okay. Do they pick a creature or... No, they actually didn't find any legal target for it. Alright, so let's see if I'm going to... If I'm gonna mill the islands here. I know I could also play the officer and then use the riposte on the Chaplain, which I actually like also. And I probably will, in fact, although that's not necessarily so mana efficient, because now I can play these, and then maybe next turn I find actually the island. I can play the officer and the Stern Lesson or something like that. Yeah, I guess I do that. I'm not gonna pick a planes if I see one. Well, there was one island, and I could take the Paratrooper. Then again, if I don't take it, I can just try to trade with the Chaplain, which is not the worst idea. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna decline this. Let's just trade with the thing here. I have 7 more islands in the deck. Okay, more of that. Well, I guess I can riposte that guy. So now they can pick planes if they want to, and they wanted to have a land. Okay, that is good now. So exactly what I wanted to happen here. So I'm gonna do this, and then I can, use the Stern Lesson to discard planes most likely, then animate the Power Stone, and I think I will. I was gonna say trade with the Vanguard, but that's not actually going to happen here now. So I'm taking 4 here, and of course riposting this guy is not so great now. That's only 3 damage. Can't beat the cavalry. Wow. I could sentence this guy, but I have not relevant use for 2 mana. The fact this thing got the counter is actually annoying here. Oh boy. I know I can make this into a 4/4 that will block the Vanguard. Probably that is what I have to do now. And then I need to prison sentence this thing on the next turn. At least they're tapped out, so I can make this thing happen. That's gonna be good. Yeah, there's no point to attacking for 4. I have to take 7 on the backswing, so I need to stem the bleeding here a little bit. So Wing Commando can actually block the chaplain, so I don't have to worry about the 1/1 guy. -2. Recommission on the chaplain. Okay, so this time they're gonna get a... okay, they have a Geekish command in their deck. They're gonna get an engineer if they want to have a 2/1 in addition. Okay, they prefer a 3/3, but that can actually be reposted now. Finally. Okay, well they're playing a lot more spells than I. Look at their board. So here I have to just block. Have to just block that thing and take 4. And then at least I got my own cohort. And I can sentence and Wing Commando. That is the most mana efficient play here. I can take the 3 here, no big deal. Although the cohort can, block that stuff, and then I can riposte this thing. I take 4 in the air, but then I don't have to, because I think I might actually start using this at some point in the game. It seems like it might go there. So yeah, let's actually do that. Hopefully this chaplain doesn't pick another counter. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna block here now and deal 3 to this thing, which worked. Down to 7, but I can deal with the stuff they have here. Now this Unearth is still going to happen. Oh, they have green in the deck too. I do have another Stern Lesson in the deck, so I don't want to play all my lands. But then again, if I want to activate this, I need to have all the lands on the battlefield. So let's see if they have an answer for this thing. They actually don't. Oh, these are both good. In which order I'm gonna play them? So it depends on if I want to Urza's command now this turn. I probably am going to do that. Kinda want to deal with the chaplain too, but they're gonna do this 3 power attacker. I think I'll need to. Don't want to really take it, but I might. I would take 4 damage in that case. Take the 1+3 from this guy. I guess I can -2, -0 them. And not draw a card, right? Get the token only. I'm gonna keep them both on top now. Fine. I'm gonna guess maybe I'm gonna -2, -0 them. I do have some advantage here coming up. Okay, I'm gonna -2, -0 them. It also means I'm not going to... Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. Fine. I take 1 from this, which will be a... No, actually I won't even take... Well, yeah, I'm gonna take the 1, because I'm gonna kill the 1/1 token with the this thing. So they get -2, -0, and I will get this creature myself, which will be a 2/2 now. Oh, it's tapped. It's tapped. I mean, I can block with this thing still, no problem. So, yep. I forgot it's tapped creature. You can't surprise block anyone with it. Okay, they actually saved that, but they probably wanted to scry. Okay. That's fine. Now they are gonna exile the cohort. So now I can use this and get my spider. That is a thing I can do because I mean it's a little bit, you know, greedy. But otherwise I have only one spell this turn, either the commando or the amulet. I have 7 mana, so I think it makes sense. I guess I could still take the wing commando, but I prefer the spider here. I can use the power stone for the amulet, for instance, and this still has reach. And now I can attack with this 4/4. Okay, they have a endless supply of those guys. And they have this bit which requires another swamp. Hero of the Dunes. I still don't see what is the forest for in the deck. They can exile that. Okay, that is unfortunate, and now they can attack with. I got some life there at least, but I think I'm gonna take 3 and try to raise them now. I get the amulet here. So now I have 8 mana, so that I can cast all this stuff. Okay, that's good. So I might have even trade with this thing. I play the amulet here now. Oh yeah, this actually I didn't even need to land, but anyhow, because this amulet will make this token larger now, and then I can attack with it. I guess if they are going to block, I'm gonna play the land anyway. So if they block the officer, maybe I will use its ability. Now that they don't, I don't think I'm gonna bother. Now they will have. I can block one of the ground guys with the amulet. Wing commando can, you know, trade with the 2/2 or maybe. Okay, forget about that. They get to kill my wing commando, and then they get to gain a lot of life with that thing. Okay. Well, this is. I mean, I'm losing now. I'm losing now. Wow, that's what the green is for. Yeah, they have these one ones. I mean, this can be jump blocked. I have card draws, I know. So I guess I'm gonna start with that. Wow. Just wow. Their Fliers. Okay, don't win now. Yet. I would really want to exile the Skyfisher Spider, but I can also exile my own guy, by the way. If I... No, this is lethal attack now, isn't it? No, because this makes them gain 3 life. They block these, they are at... No, they are... I can block... I can deal 6 to them. That is so nasty. Because I can exile this, then this won't... this won't gain the 6 life. But then they block my 4, this thing, and then I can unearth this, but that's only 6 to there, but it will be 7 after I cast this. So I actually cannot do that. But I can do this. Because I have mana to do that all here. So what I will be doing, I'm just attacking with all these. And then the chaplain will be exiled. I don't attack with the officer because I kind of wanted to still stay here. Yeah, but that's to be expected. They go back to 9 now, but they actually lose their ground guys. Actually, they go to 10 because it counts itself. Then I can draw the card from this thing. And buy myself a little bit of time here. And I have the officer ability up. I can unearth this guy, but that's only a 2-turn clock. Okay, better. Start with this because I wanna play the flyer regardless. Another... Okay, this is good. Get another flyer. There's the amulet which I can unearth. This does seem that it's... Yep, gonna be... Is this a lethal attack, by the way? It might have been, because this is 3 plus 4, 7, yeah, plus 6. That was exactly 13 if they have nothing in their hand. Okay, so I'm really scared about Gix's command. There's not much I can do about it. They also have a military discipline here. Static net. Hero of the Dunes, the cavalry. So definitely with the cavalry, my 3/3/5 drop flyer isn't gonna be good enough. I think I will... Do I want to defabricate something? It will exile... Well, not much, mostly like the one cohort I saw. The spider is something I would want to counter though, but... How good is the bulwark here? Not good against their flyers. That's definitely gonna be going away. And cool down, counter spell, bounce spell, recommission maybe. Get something back here. I guess I like the scatter ray against the spider. It's not a bad one. Okay, this is the sideboarding. Okay, that's a fine start. Let's see if they have one of these 3-drop flyers that is gonna... Yeah, if they're gonna make it into a 1/1, I'm actually not going to... No, I'm gonna play the Paratrooper because of the Transpider. Yeah, I was thinking about trying to surprise block it, but oh, that didn't even work, so no problem. I don't immediately need the Power Stone, and they might benefit from it. So I guess I'm gonna just actually do this. Although the Power Stone gives me the threat of activation for the Trooper, I suppose. But it's fine, now we can trade with these guys. This is not a soldier, so the tactician won't help there. Okay, that's also a reason to have green in the deck. And they get this thing back with recommission, that is efficient. They didn't get anything but... Guess I'll play my... This will pump this, but it doesn't help. Because... This is a 3/3 now, but I suppose... I have now 5 power on the battlefield. If they make a token, I can disenchant it. 5/5 goes away. And then I would also be able to play the Transpider here, which wouldn't be bad. I think I want the Spider rather than the Stern Lesson at this point. At least I have the Paratrooper, so it can use the Power Stone mana, which I will have even more here now. Okay, more chaplains, planes, or chaplain. I guess they make this into a 1/1 and play another chaplain then. Wings. Okay, they also play wings with a deck that has a lot of flyers. So, am I supposed to sentence that thing? I do have the threat of activation, so... They have... I can attack with the 3/4 and the 2/4, because... They won't be able to block them, although it doesn't do much else. I mean, I might as well just actually sentence this guy. Scry into probably a land, actually. That is good, but do I wanna... Okay, let's see. If I get a land on the next turn... No, it's not gonna... I might just play 2 stern lessons on the next turn, actually. So I'm gonna keep the land. Now they don't have a good block and they actually have to worry about me beating them. Yeah, I can attack with the threat of activation and then play those stern lessons instead. Okay, they can take a Ocean Dissident. Okay, they milled a forest, but they can't pick on anything else, any other land than a plains with it. So they kept this thing, which means they have a green source in their hand. If they have a green source, they will have the wings too. Okay, so threat of activation. I mean, they have to actually jump block now, if nothing else. Sure. They didn't have anything, and they didn't equip the wings. Okay, I will now just I could also activate the spider and pick the amulet, but I think I'd rather take the... They gain 2 life from this thing, by the way. I guess they're gonna get rid of the tactician here now. That's the bigger threat here. Not much I can do about it. I have my disenchant already on the graveyard. Yeah, I don't think I can draw into anything. I don't have a Lawrence escape or anything, so let's just let them do that thing. And then they play a Phalanx Vanguard, which doesn't do much. So it seems pretty good for me. Now I can discard an amulet for a hasty attacker, but let's first see what I draw. Okay, I think I'm gonna discard a land for that thing, but let's see what the other one does. That's also a hasty attacker. If I unearth with 3 mana... Actually, I have the 4 mana too. And then still have the 5 mana for the paratroop. Oh, I'm gonna get another power stone, so it doesn't even matter. So now, do I want to have a hasty attacker here, forcing them to make some kind of blocks they otherwise wouldn't want? I guess I'm gonna actually discard the amulet here now. And they are gonna... Oh, that's also very good. So this is gonna work now. Yes, and then I can actually play the post-combat. I mean, if I want to activate the paratrooper. They of course do have to block at least the amulet. Well, that's actually enough. So now I cannot... them going to 1 is almost the same. I'd rather just, you know, play both of these things, right? I could deal 2 more damage, but it does seem not so relevant now. So let's do it like this. And now with the paratrooper, I mean, even without the paratrooper, I should be in a rather good shape now. Even if they draw a forest, I mean, they can play like a big token, and it's not even that big. I guess it would be like a 6/6, so... But of course, my board is much wider than theirs, and of course I do have the paratrooper as well. Okay. Well, not a great go, but given that Ure's command being as good as it is, I'm gonna keep it and hope to draw a 2 or 3 drop here. Or maybe they have a good target for the disenchant. I try to remember that the token will be tapped. No, nothing so far. I'm not going to deal with the chromatic star here. Okay. Well, that is a card I can use to trade here. I don't think I'm gonna take 5. I mean, if they don't have like a disfigure here. Well, now I'm not so happy about trading anymore. It's gonna come back. I mean, I can't take the damage here, but... Command gives me a 1/1, which is tapped. If they draw multiple cards, they get to drain me for 2. Well, it's gonna be one of the 4-mana cards here, of course. This can block the Thraxer Demon, so let's do that then. Don't really know what modes I want to choose for this thing yet. Psychos. Well, that's a target for a Descendant, so there is that. So this turn I'm gonna have a Combat Courier, Descendant, and a Zephyrus Sentinel. Yeah, no reason to attack here. They just trade with the Puppeteer. I don't wanna, and they get back the Acrobat here. So yeah, I can actually save it. No, they draw 2. I'm a fool. I thought that for some reason that they're gonna -1/-1 the courier, but then I could just draw a card. I don't understand why, and especially because they get the drain here. That was a weird way for me to think about it. So I can make this into a bigger guy by bouncing specifically the Tactician, but then I would have to recast it. Don't think I like it too much, so I'm gonna just play it as it will be a 3/2 thanks to the Tactician. I can play my Onulet now. Okay, they had no play for now. Let's see how many drains they can get out of that thing. Oh, they are playing the actual, the theme. Okay, they didn't have a card draw yet, but they might have a Stern Lesson on my turn, of course. They let me untap though. I could have the counter spell. All right, so with the stuff I have here currently, I should just I might need to use this as a -2, -0 at some point. Maybe I attack now with everything. They will try to trade with the Puppeteer. Okay, let's do this. This might be a little bit crazy, but I can, use the command and draw a card with the courier here. Hopefully they don't have a counterspell. They have their own Urza's command. Wow. Well, nothing is gonna get traded then. Okay. So they could have used this on their turn to trigger these things. I'm not sure why they didn't go for it. Okay, so I'm going to maybe get a creature or a card. I guess I have a Stern Lesson to draw a card, so maybe the creature is better. Let's do the creature. No one is trading here. They take 2 damage at least. But of course they can attack for quite a large amount of damage there. Okay, they have a blocker from... Yeah, I take a bunch of... Oh, and they can actually use the Thraxer Demon to trigger their stuff. I kind of want to sack this, but it will make this token smaller. But I guess I would have to draw exactly an artifact to make this able to attack into the Warplow. So let's do the card draw now. That is okay. All right. Well, sure. Stern Lesson, please. Oh, actually, this is gonna be a 3-3 now, so I kind of messed up. I forgot that, obviously. This turn lesson I knew I'm gonna cast is gonna give me a pump for this guy. Oh well. I can still attack with these guys, I guess. I guess I could have, you know, unearthed this courier here, but to make this into a 4-4, but this is fine. I want to play the flyer anyway. I'm very scared about the turn when they're gonna actually, you know, draw a card to trigger the... is this even good? Well, it is better than having this as a 2-2, I'm sure. So, I mean, when they use a Traxxas Demon to sacrifice something, they don't have a good thing to sacrifice now, but once they draw something, they can just sack away. They get to trigger both of these, and that's horrible. They're gonna actually go for that. I don't mind. They lost the trigger on this thing. Oh, Might Stone's animation. So this puppeteer will return, obviously, something like an Unearthers now back. Okay. So how to do it? I should maybe... I'm gonna do it like this. That worked, that's nice. Then I'm going to have the Amulet hasty attack. And then, because they might bring back the Anointer and then the Wing Commando isn't even that great, I'd rather push for some damage right now. The question is, am I gonna attack with the Tactician? Currently it's not gonna do anything else than pumping. Well, it will pump the Wing Commander though. But if they block this thing, that's 6, 10, that... Oh, that's actually lethal, isn't it? Wait a minute. That's lethal. Oh man. Why didn't I count for the lethal first? I just thought that this is a nice turn to deal a bunch of damage, but I mean, it's so easy to... I even said that 4 damage from Unearth is no joke earlier in the... somewhere when I built my deck or something. And now it was exactly enough, even though they blocked the biggest possible creature. Wow. Well, I mean, note to self, please calculate for the amount of damage you can deal before figuring out what to do in the turn. Well, I'm not happy about what I saw. How about the realization? Do I have a lot of creatures that die to the -1/-1 part? I don't have a counterspell for this thing. I can exile some of their nasty stuff though. This is a 1 toughness creature. This is a 1 toughness creature, but they are too good to you know, not play. Yeah, I mean, all of the creatures I have that have 1 toughness are, you know, too good to not play. Is there anything I can deal with the stuff like a scatter ray instead of... What? The bulwark? Again, didn't seem like too relevant, so I'm gonna have the scatter ray instead. And maybe... Do I want to play a recommission here? Instead of... something... Is the paratrooper gonna matter? I mean, yes, it is, but I was actually talking about the riposte. I meant to talk about it. Okay, I'm actually taking the recommission here. I'll try it now instead of the riposte. They might be like a controlish deck that doesn't really attack until they are able to, you know, win by attacking anyway. So it might be too late for me. I try to be the aggressor here, even though I will be on the draw now. Okay, not the greatest hand, but I suppose this turn lesson you know, can ditch a land. But now I can also play the Wing Commando, and they had no 2-drop. So let's see if they have the Anointer. They don't have the Anointer, alright. So let's see if they counter this thing. Remove it, bounce it. Not even a stern lesson of their own. I can now curve out with the cohort, actually. That's a very good one with the cards they have going on. I might have to, you know, prison sentence that guy. I might just have to do it, maybe even right away. I mean, I think I'm gonna do it right away. I don't want them to activate it, not a single time. This is fine. I'm just thinking if I should play next turn the cohort and the courier, or the sentinel. I guess it's gonna be the sentinel and the stern lesson, so I will draw the sentinel now. Oh, that's the perfect thing, because now I can return it, have this be a 3-2, and recast this guy. Skull Flayer. Okay, I'm happy they didn't get to loot stuff. So this is just the perfect one. It's a soldier, so it will give this guy a counter, and I have a now nice air force here. And let's hope they can't interfere with it too much. That I'm not too worried. It's a quite small, and I'm at 20 here. So just cohort into courier this turn cycle. Now they do need to deal with my flyers. They have only 2 cards left. I'm really happy about this prison sentence on the Ursa here. Okay, well they can get some value out of it, but it's actually not gonna help. They by the way can't play their last card because a crawler would die. So let's start with guess this thing. Actually should have played the planes because I still have the exile effect that counts my planes. I don't need 3 islands for anything. I might have to discard the planes now depending on what I draw. Well, I have to discard the planes, but then I'm gonna be able to exile up to 6-drop things. Alright, so just attack with these guys. Probably with the courier as well, because I'm gonna sack it for a card draw anyway now. Actually might have even done that pre-combat, but we'll see. I mean, they're gonna block it anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. Now that is a good one. It is not, if nothing else, it's a 1-1 flyer. I have a couple of hasty. Well, I actually could have saved this prowess for the... Well, maybe not, because now I can attack on the next turn with it. Yeah, I guess the total amount of damage is the same. But yeah, this is hasty attacker, this is hasty attacker, and they are only at 6 now. They sack that for a draw, but I mean that's not a lot of mana they have left to deal with a bunch of threats now. I think I might be in a very decent shape thanks to my hasters here. Well, thanks to that specifically, so I'm not even thinking about doing the statue now. Because the statue is a threat by itself. I want to diversify my threats. I'm gonna make this... I guess I could make this so I can... Wait a minute, let's do it smart. If I make this into a 4-4, then I can still both activate the statue and unearth the cohort, because then I can use the Power Stone for mana. So this makes more sense now. Plus if they have interaction, I don't care if they use removal on my 1-1 when I have a lot more threatening things here. It's very unlikely that they could, you know, deal with everything here. They can counter that thing, yes. That is not gonna be very good for them, because now I can still do this. And I can do this. It's at 2-2 now. They have to do something to the Fliers, so I can attack also with the, I mean the 1-1, because this becomes a 1-1 once they use a card. And you know, I'm still having the 2-2 and the 3-1 here, so of course there's no way for them to. They still are facing lethal here. That's exactly lethal now, even after they jump blocked. Alright, so now they didn't have the scary triggers, and I had a very good draw in the end here, so everything went without any trouble there. Final match, and again on the draw. But it's actually a nice hand here. Sadly, I only won planes. Well, they get rid of my sentinel, or maybe they get rid of the courier. But yeah, at some point I will be able to maybe exile something more expensive than 1 mana creatures. But okay, well, you know, because of the animation, I don't necessarily want to sack the courier, but then again, it probably is what I have to do. So I can next turn, you know, sack it again, because I don't seem to have anything to play. So mana value 3, I need to do that if I want to exile this, which, you know, not sure if I want to even exile. It's not really, it's just 1-1 double striker. Okay, that is another planes at least. So they're gonna always block this thing, so let's just play it faster. No target for the animation now. Well, there will be a target. That's a good target for it. The 1-1. Okay, so no, nothing from them. Nothing at all, not even an instant on my turn. That is scary. I believe I have to risk it now. That worked. Okay. Okay, so out of my 8 islands, I have now actually 6. Okay, let's do the attack and see what happens. They are really just... Did they keep a hand that just totally floods them out? I mean, I'm pretty flooded too, but I have a stern lesson here. That is big creature we can't attack into. Maybe they weren't flooded out, but their remaining hand is just all this expensive stuff. Wow. That is my 7th island out of 8. Sure. Whatever. That is my 8 islands now. All the islands were in top 18 cards. So in my 18 cards I had 10 lands, 8 of which were their islands. Very cool. This is a soldier, by the way. It will be a 5-5 after I get to cast this guy. So, no relevant target for this thing. Nice. I mean, it would have been a lot better to have 8 planes in this game, thanks to the laydown arms. I have 8 of each in the deck. Okay, they are gonna, in fact, they give that thing vigilance and flying. Okay, I take 3 in the air. And then it's a 5-5 blocker, but I'm also going to make this into a... I guess there's... Okay, well, at least that is there, but it doesn't help if I kill this, exile this treasure now. I can animate this other power stone, but of course it doesn't. It is not a soldier, so it will not get the pump from the tactician. So now the risk is that they have interaction to kill the tactician, but I will hope that won't be the case. There's not much else going on, but if they can deal with the tactician, I think I will not win the game. Okay, at least not yet. Nothing else to do here. I'm not gonna exile this and give them 3 life. It's really irrelevant currently. Okay, that they have top 2 of these, but funnily that didn't hit anything. They didn't even get to exile anything from our graveyard. Okay, they are attacking with that. Well, I guess I'll take... I mean, that's not a vigilant creature anymore, so let's take the 5. And they concede, because they forgot to give it vigilance. Okay, that was odd. Alright, so a couple of discard effects, or I suppose exile. Exile from hand effects. Don't really, that really can affect your sideboarding. If they draw it, then they draw it. It's not like I'm gonna remove all relevant cards from my deck so that they don't get to hit with this thing. Achieving Avenger and Combat Treasure, and 2 of these, the only spells I saw in this game. So they had a really bad flood. So the Avenger, I can actually counter both of them with Defabricate. Maybe I'll try that. And I don't care about the Coastal Bulwark. I mean, they could be an aggressive deck, but I didn't see anything like that, so no reason to keep it in the deck right now. Anything else that works against the Avenger in particular? I mean, I don't really need to. I mean, I have here like a Disenchant. I'm not sure if I need to do any other changes here. All the cards in the deck are fairly decent. The Riposte, I mean, I guess this could be like a bounce spell or the counter spell. Actually, let's have this other counter spell too. I mean, it can also deal with the Avenger and the Treasure. It's actually better because it deals with more cards in general, but I think I'm gonna play both. Maybe I can counter some ability and it will be fun to win because of that. But anyway, I believe this is my... I mean, I guess I could not play the Defabricate and have like a recommission instead, but let's try the Defabricate. Let's give it a chance to shine. Well, with the courier, I guess I can try to hope to draw to my island. I had all the islands in the previous game in top 18 cards, so is it now time to have all the islands in the bottom of the deck? I'm gonna draw with this thing instead of playing the other courier. Of course, I do need to hit my island. Thopter, okay. Well, there it is. So everything is fairly decent now. Okay, statue. I'm not going to play it. I try to play the statue so that I can leave mana up for the scatter ray to start picking counters. So now I'm gonna just play my own flyer. I'm not gonna block the Thopter, of course, because for example this tactician can make the wing commando a 3/3. I just hope I draw any land now, which I didn't, but they didn't do anything either. Plus this thing can actually pick me on planes, and then the 1/1 flyer can block the Thopter. Assuming there is a planes, and there was a planes, and I even get value from the can play even this thing. I even get value with the mill because I have now an unearthed creature in the graveyard. Although they might have Dreams of Steel and Oil, so they get to. Well, that's a bunch of stuff. Of course they now know about the scatter ray, so that's one reason to not sideboard those counter spells in. They have 2 of these. When they know about the counter spells, it's gonna be much worse. So, not so great for me actually. But I mean, it's still not gonna be that easy. By the way, they chose to exile the tactician. I don't think I even care about it that much. I play this pre-combat so I can attack with the wing commando and all the other stuff too. So they know about the scatter ray, but I mean, it doesn't really help them too much. I'm gonna leave mana up for it, and then they have to deal with it. Yeah, that would... yeah. I mean, I'm a bit scared this was the card they wanted to feed to my counter spell. Okay, understand. So there goes the statue. And well, I can just keep attacking. I can play the Ursa's command if they block my wing commando. So nothing wrong with that. and if not, I will play that Amulet. I do have a couple of stern lessons. Maybe I'm going to... Although I do have some card draw here. Yeah, I should play the land. They do have now perfect information about the things in here, but... Okay, that is a bit scary, especially because of this thing. But I'm gonna give it -2, -0. They don't know about the stern lesson, so I actually have a good stern lesson here now if they do block my flyer. I can also, you know, block and sack this thing so they don't get the life. They choose that. So, am I just going to go for the artifact? I can still block and sack this. Instead of doing the -2. Yeah, I'm gonna make the creature and draw a card. Scry and draw. That makes sense. That's... If I had the exile card in my hand, maybe I would keep it, but I don't, so... Bye-bye. Although with that I could have played the stern lesson, but then again I do in fact want to block and sack, so that the Trent Stalker won't be gaining them 4 life, because they can trigger it on demand with this thing. I could just double block it, but it's very risky. Okay, they have... Well, it's not so risky anymore. They are not... I mean, I'm gonna double block it if they're gonna attack with it. I don't get to draw a card with the courier, but I do get to get rid of the Stalker. I mean, they go to 10, but it's better outcome for me. This also becomes a 1/1 only, but... Not even sure. So this gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. What is it gonna... If I Might Stones animate it? Yeah, it's a 0/0. Yeah, okay, so it will be actually very good. So let's go to blockers. And let's get rid of this guy. With Death Touch they of course can kill both of my guys, but this one goes to graveyard and I get to... It's not so bad. Oh, this enchant. Wow. Insane. That's insane. Wow. So am I even wanting to do the animation right now or just use this? Because I know they have another Dreams of Steel and Oil. I'm actually going to do this now that it's still in the graveyard. This is like almost lethal because of course it did boost this guy. Would it have been a lethal? Oh. No, I don't think it would have been lethal if I used the animation there, because then it's... I would have gotten a prowess trigger to make it the flyer into a... to make the flyer into a 4/4, but this would have been only a 5/5. 4/4 base ++1/+1 from itself, so it would have been the same amount of damage. Either way, why they considered is that I have actually 2 1-power hasters in my graveyard, so they needed to actually either gain some life or 3 blockers / removals for my guys, so they apparently didn't have it. Did I lose a game in this event? Not that it usually matters, because in best of 3 of course variants can hit inside the match, so that you can have like non-games, but I think I had a pretty good run here, and I do like the deck. The Tactician wasn't at its greatest here, but it's still, because it's a base 4-mana 3/4, you don't really have to gain that much more value out of it. I didn't really do much work with the Levitating Statue, but it's a very powerful combination to animate it with Mightstone's animation, because it will be a very big flyer without using the 2-mana. And the Amulets, you know, the Unearths were multiple times relevant, and they gain 2 life when it leaves the battlefield is not I mean, it's 2 life is usually significant enough to, you know, play some role in limited matches or games of limited, and you usually get, you know, twice the 2 life, because of course it will also give it to you when you exile it after unearthing it. So yeah, pretty nice deck, and finally I was able to record a 3-0 result. I have had some 3-0 results without recording them, but now it hit I got it on the timing was right for this recording. Nothing much else to say about it. Yeah, I will see you in the next video then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.